King's Country at kingscountry.net. Welcome to the Jim King of the Radio Show. And we're celebrating a major milestone for King of the Road Productions this week. Our regional record extending 950th episode. We're going to kick it off with a couple of segments featuring a lot of famous folks that I've crossed paths with over the years. One or two of them is now deceased. You'll have to check that out. That's sponsored by Texas Construction Resources. Got Freddie Payton, the Royal Spotlight, and about halfway through the show, I'll do a Zoom call with a guy named Jim Stannard. That name isn't probably very familiar with you because he's an Americana artist, but he's got a cute little ditty. It's called You Turn Red. It's a political song, but not really taking sides, just poking fun at all the partisanship that we have to endure these days. Jim Stannard coming up. I'll play the audio from that Zoom call and that song, You Turn Red. That's coming up on King's Country. Stay with me. Howdy, folks. Jim King of the TV and radio here with a special treat as we get closer to the election. Just next week. Wow, it's coming up fast. Got Jim Stannard here. He's got a great little tongue-in-cheek ditty. It's kind of a bluegrass tune. He's an Americana artist, and the song is called You Turned Red. I love it. Can't wait to play it in just a moment. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing great.
You know, I usually try to avoid politics on my program since we're an entertainment show and live in a very conservative area, but I couldn't pass this one up. Very clever. You have a lot of little ditties like that, don't you?
Well, thanks. And, I really didn't intend it to be political other than poking fun at the partisanship. I mean,
yeah.
I certainly didn't mean it as endorsing one side or the other. I probably end up with more humorous songs than I can end up using.
You ended up doing an animated video. Did you intend to do that?
We have done an animated video on a song from my first album, which was also a humor song called "It's All Turtles," and that was actually a very fun way to do it. And in a way, it's easier than actually, going and doing filming of a regular video. So
we have a good graphic artist.
Easier on me.
Yeah. Well, I really like it, and you have an interesting career, interesting background where in the 60s and 70s you played in coffee houses, and then you kind of hung it up to become a successful businessman. Are you still in the business world and solely focusing on music now, or are you doing both?
I'm partially in the business world and doing some things in the insurance industry, but what I really enjoy there is I've got younger people doing the work, and I'm acting as kind of the graybeard mentor. So I don't really have the pressure that somebody in the middle of their career has. So I can, it's fun for me. It keeps me involved. But I don't really spend. I probably spend 20% of my time on that, and then really enjoy working on the music and some nonprofit activities, but mainly goofing off, playing tennis.
Well, you got a new album coming out in January I'm excited about called Magical.
Yes. And, it's my third album. These take a long time to make. The second album came out just after COVID in 2000, just after COVID hit. And this one, a couple of the songs really I wrote shortly after that album. They're 4 years old or something, but it took me this time to get 10 songs together and to get and then to get everything recorded the way we wanted to get it recorded. I mean, I'm so fortunate that Kip Winger produces my albums, and he's such an amazingly talented guy. So in terms of the production and, I mean, when I play, I'm playing with a guitar, guitar sitting at a mic.
Yeah.
And Kip figures out how to put all the different instruments on.
Here comes matinee recording artist Jim Stannard with You Turned Red as our King's Country Music Clip of the Week from Nashville. King's Country, kingscountry.net. I'm Jim King of the Radio, and we've got Lone Star coming up, that super group, and you can see them live at the Lutcher Theater. Get your tickets now at lutcher.org. They're playing there this Sunday night. I remember back in the mid-2000s when they were like dominating as a group. They were considered a super group in country music. Their reign lasted about 10 years from the mid-90s to about the mid-2000s. And they kind of dropped off the chart. Got a lot of hits like this one right here, Lone Star. What about now on King's Country?
The sign in the window said for sale or trade.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. We're cruising into the lunch hour. I'm Jim King of the Radio, serving up some magnificent stuff from the likes of Morgan Wallen, Mark Chestnut, Eli Young Band. They're all on the way. Plus more previews of this weekend's Jim King of the TV show. Audio previews on the way. Got a star-studded lineup as we celebrate the 950th episode this weekend on Fox 4, the CW Strike TV, and YouTube. But who's counting?
Long live the king!
King's Country at kingscountry.net. That is Mark Chestnut. It's a little too late. I was just having one of those unexpected, fabulous flashbacks with Mark Chestnut. That's a guy that turned me on to country music way back in the mid-90s. Which brings us to this.
King of the road.
Visiting with Mark Chestnut on his tour bus.
I was a rock DJ years ago in the 90s, and I suddenly ended up on a country station. I wasn't real happy about it at first. But I was sitting around one day listening to some country music, and I heard one of your songs, I Just Wanted You to Know, and I listened to it over and over and over. And from then on, I was hooked. I was hooked on country. That became one of my...
all this is my fault, huh?
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
And then came I can't blame you for the hat, really.
No, the Iron Gang ain't got nothing to do with that.
King of the Road.
King's Country, kingscountry.net. I got to say, one of my favorites from the newest crop of country crooners has got to be Lainey Wilson. She's tearing it up. She's everywhere these days. And at a Lainey Wilson concert, Lainey saw a young woman holding a to-do list, so she brought her on stage. Here's what the fan sign said, if you can make it out. Lainey's on the way. Stay with me. King of the Road Productions in Beaumont, Texas. Jim King of the Radio and TV behind the mic. TV show is already aired once in our Golden Triangle region. In fact, it's going on right now on the CW. It's a great episode. It's our 950th episode. Star-studded entertainment extravaganza. We're going to kick it off with a couple of segments from featuring some of the cats, the famous folks that I've met over the years. Some of them even deceased. Check out this little audio sample from the show this weekend. Man, how time flies when you're having a royal time. Can you believe that this is already our 950th episode? Enjoy these clips from our royal archives as we gaze in the rear view at our first 18 years on television. Honky Tonk, Texas! Honky Tonk, Texas, everybody. Hey, I'm Jim King of the Road from Kicker 95.1 Radio, Fox 4 TV, WTV, and the Examiner newspaper. Are y'all having a good time tonight? Everybody got a cold beer? Got a cold beer? Are y'all about ready for the big show? The man has had 21 number one hits. 10 in a row. 3 Grammy nominations. He's the only country artist to ever be on Soul Train. Remember that Soul Train? 1986. He's a country music legend right here tonight at Honky Tonk, Texas. Earl Thomas Conley.
Oh, the hardest thing I've ever had to do is holding her and loving you.
Earl Thomas Conley, it's first I want to say it's a real honor and a pleasure to talk to you in person.
Appreciate it.
I'm a huge fan of your music, and I have been since the early 80s.
Here's the reason I'm still here.
It's the regional record extending 950th episode of the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube.
Kentucky Headhunters, the Grammy Award-winning Kentucky Headhunters. I think it's your first time here at Honky Tonk, Texas.
I
Am
believe
correct
it. I
about
believe
that?
it is. As far as I know.
We're close to Beaumont, though, aren't we?
Yes, you have a lot of fans in Beaumont, thanks partly because of our TV show that we've featured you on so many times.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, last time we saw you was in Louisiana. It's probably 5-6 years ago, and you're like in our royal archives now.
Hey, man. Well, you're the king, man. You got that's the coolest cowboy hat on.
I think it is too. I think you.
I'm not a real king. I just play one on TV once a week.
Well, that's all right. That's another
Or
thing.
3 times a week.
You ever wore that at a bar anywhere?
Yeah.
Did you ever get in trouble?
No, can you believe I never got my ass kicked?
I can't believe it. If I was to put that on my head and walk in the bar with a cowboy hat on, they'd take me out.
In our case, we bought a home and he visited, but he rented them, and so we stayed in touch and involved with each other. The rest of his life. I have a little history with Beaumont. My parents invested in some oil wells in Beaumont when I was just a teenager, and we knew we were going to get oil rich, but it never happened. I don't know what happened, but I've never forgotten Beaumont. Anyway, good to talk to you, man. Congratulations on your success, and I like your crown. You've earned it.
It's really cool that you knew Elvis Presley. I'm standing next to a guy that knew Elvis. You've probably been to his home in Memphis.
I lived at Graceland for 7 years.
Did you really?
I sure did. Yeah.
Was he still alive then? Or?
Oh, no, he was, very much so. I met Elvis when I was 15 years old at a skating rink. He took me under his arm, and we became friends. And matter of fact, he gave me my first tour bus. Just wrote a check.
1976.
Hey, you've done your homework. And matter of fact, there's a song on my new album that I've done that is kind of an anthem. And it's a song called The Day Elvis Died. Okay. And it's going to be a great record, I think. But no, I did a concert at Graceland back in July, and I'm scheduled to do another concert at Graceland this coming August. So, those were great years with Elvis.
What kind of guy was he?
Well, I asked him one day, I said, Elvis, how does it feel to be you? He said, you crazy? Feels great. He was just a guy like you or me, Jim, or anybody that's watching this. He was There was no ego.
Don't miss the Jim King of the TV show this weekend, special edition, 950th episode, a magnificent milestone if I don't say so myself. King's Country at kingscountry.net. I feel kind of a strangeness in the air right now, and could it be because Halloween's in the rear view? Oh, I think I know the answer. Doug Stone's coming up. That's why I'm having a fabulous flashback. King of the Road. Backstage in Beaumont with country legend Doug Stone.
Cats have 9 lives, and I think Doug Stone probably has 15.
Well, I'm on number 7. I counted them up the other day. Yeah, let's see. Heart surgery in
2
92.
plane crashes, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see. Oh, I'm going in, chronological. Mm-hmm. It's 92, see, I had the heart surgery. 95, I had a heart attack. 96, I had a stroke. 97, I crashed an airplane, 2 trucks, and a motorcycle.
He still looks so great. What's your secret? What's your secret, man?
Formaldehyde. Embalming fluid.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. From our file, you just can't make this stuff up. This comes from not too far from our neck of the woods, coming out of New Orleans. Some wacky news you could use. A woman in New Orleans stole an ambulance on Tuesday night and took it for a joyride before it was eventually recovered, with 2 EMTs and a patient still inside. Here's the witness, Isabella Putsky, talking about what she saw as the incident unfolded.
Just slamming on the window going, "Open this car, open the door, open the window." She was driving. I don't know if she was intoxicated or not, but she was in the car driving. She finally opens it, and they grab her, and they throw her down on the ground. Then the whole, pretty much, precinct showed up.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. I guess it did all the damage for a TGIF edition of the Jim King of the Radio Show. You know what to do now. Keep between the ditches. Have a good one. Don't miss the 950th episode of my TV extravaganza. It's a star-studded one. Check local listings. It still airs several times on the CW, Fox 4, Strike TV, and always available at YouTube. Check it out, and I'll see you Sunday night at the Lutcher in Orange as we check out Lone Star. That super group is coming to our neck of the woods. Lone Star. I don't think they've played here since I've lived here 25 years. So check it out. We'll see you there. And in the meantime, keep between the ditches. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later, Gator.
Sometimes